Is hard. Who had the opening line? Do you remember? What was the opening
So
line?
we're rolling now.
What's your favorite color?
Yeah.
What's your favorite color?
Purple. And then
Up
she
against the
goes,
mics,
like,
please. I'm sorry to be a dick.
Yeah,
But yeah, here we are talking. Let's talk into the mics.
she asked me my favorite color, and I said purple, and then she said, like, a pastel, and I was like, no, like royal purple.
Yeah. Yeah, pastel purple.
And
Who's got time for
The
that?
rest is history.
Aw. And then so when you were vibing, it's like a dating show now. So tell us about when you were vibing, who was making jokes? Was there like talk about like musical taste, movie taste? Like
A little bit. I was joking that, like, kind of a self-deprecating joke that I'm like, I don't have any money because I'm a musician. And she's like, I work for Xbox. I'm like, good for you. Like, you make probably a lot of money.
Give me $25 right now.
I'm just like, yeah, but we talked a little bit about music, and I was like, she called me apparently punk rock princess to her friends, like, before we went on our first date. So pretty proud to have that title.
High praise, yeah.
We should get that put on the back of your jumpsuit.
I know. I need some kind of
Stitched.
personalization.
Mm-hmm.
So this was backup. This was when you met your significant other.
Yes.
At a party.
At a birthday party, we all had to wear pink. It was kind of like a Clueless vibe. And I just was like, hell yeah, I'm into it. It was at a park. So it wasn't like a, party with loud music. It was like a very relaxed gathering.
Clueless was a movie from the 90s starring Alicia Silverstone for our guests, or for our listeners who don't know.
I was
Also for
born in
me, because I
2012.
haven't seen it, but everybody brings this up all the time.
You haven't seen Clueless?
No.
Oh,
It's based on Emma by, what's her name?
Jane Austen.
Jane Austen. Yeah, it's a good little movie. Alicia Silverstone, Paul Rudd in one of his early roles.
Ageless
Ageless Paul Rudd, yeah.
Lord, have mercy on my tender heart. Hanging out all day, hanging out all night. I got my hand in on with Bella Bartok on the side. Little rebel in that swell, the onslaught of the beat. Lord, have mercy on my tender heart. Hanging out all day, hanging out all night. See this little stardust? It's a rose I made for you. Rogers and Hammerstein, just to impress you. My little Edelweiss. Get a little softer now. Get a little softer now. Get a little softer now. Buds are buds and buds need buds. It's so obvious to me. Buds are buds and buds need buds. Obvious question is around me, yeah. How do you charge a friend? How do you love a friend? How do you charge a friend? How do you love a friend?
Natasha,
Alex.
talk to me about the craziness in your head that it requires in order to have different titled projects that are seemingly different personalities. How do you make sense of that madness in your mind?
I feel like it's really essential because otherwise what happens is I feel really stressed, feeling like I cannot express myself in, like, it's kind of like this binary. It's like, what's me? Like, is this me or is this me? And having multiple projects, like, ultimately lets me feel like I can be multiple things and that everything has, like, its place. So for Taciturn, it's, like, very much, like, grimy, like, noise punk, that my role in the band is different too, like, because I'm always playing bass and, like, singing more now, but I felt like I had more of a supporting role, which I always really liked, having come from Panini Girlfriend, where I was the, like, kind of band leader, and I just wanted, like, a shift in responsibilities. And now with Tunnel, it feels like very, very collaborative in that the way that we made the album was, you know, I sent some songs to my friends who produced it, and, you know, ultimately I got to have the final say in terms of what changes I liked that they made, or, like, whatever moves that they were kind of flexing. But so, like, there is a hierarchy there kind of because it's, like, my project, but still it was, like, so reliant on, like, all of us.
Feeling, ballin', calling, all in. Hello world, we are here. Been around for many years. Endless sea of humanity. What do you have in store for thee? Can you hear them fine strings as the heavens cascade and crash around you, enveloping you in affection and love forevermore? It's a natural fact. Not trying to fight. Hit me if you like. Hit it hard. Not go for that. Feeling, ballin', calling, all in. Hello you, I am here. Is it raining where you are?
I don't know. I think it just started.
I think I can hear it. I certainly feel it. I'm not hit back, not trying to hurt you. It's a natural fact. I wanna be nice to you. Remember when we first met?
How could I forget?
Feeling like going to bed. Let's go to bed.
When so you're a good musician. So good job. But I meant more. I was going to say this. So, you know, for people, you know, who aren't as good at stuff, sometimes when they get into a collaborative atmosphere, it's easy to take a step back and say, like, okay, I'm not driving this because I'm not the person who has, like, say, the most talent or the most experience or maybe the most vision. But for someone like you who can take the lead in projects, how do you find that you have to exercise to set your ego aside to be collaborative when it's not you, you know, being the lead on a project?
I'm not going to say I don't have an ego because, like, obviously I do. I find myself trying to defend, you know, who wrote what part. We get kind of, I've noticed, like, in all my projects, we can get, like, rolling back the tape of, like, who came up with this song, you know? But I genuinely really like having, like, other, like, musicians who I look up to, right? Like, people who I feel like we are on the same wavelength and kind of, like, have a similar goal, but they're coming from different angles. So, like, I really do like to hear everyone's ideas. But the thing is that I would say something that can happen is like when you're so familiar with something the way that you've done it, and then you have somebody else add something, you're like, oh, I'm not used to that. And that therefore feels wrong. And so like I've learned to kind of take my time and like reflect. I think it's like true for life also. Like when changes happen, like you really need to process them before you just react and like tell people like, I don't like this, you know, like change it back. Because I had a couple moments where you know, I could have sabotaged the song because I wasn't as open. But ultimately, yeah, like I've chosen to be really open. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to have like full control either. It's just a choice. I felt like for this album to be the best that it could be, like it was gonna have these other people involved. So
Posies and tulips, forget-me-nots. These are a few of the loveliest things, yet they pale in comparison to this little June bug, little June bug, little June bug of mine. This little June bug, little June bug, little June bug of mine. Petals of all tones bow at Her Majesty's feet. Light, be it wave or particle, stops to take a peek. This little June bug, little June bug, little June bug of mine. This little June bug, little June bug, little June bug of mine. My true love, turtle dove, I knew it when I fell asleep right under that Bodhi tree. This little June bug, little June bug, little June bug of mine. Little June bug, little June bug, little June bug of mine.
So, you know, some bands are dictatorships, some are democracies, right? Do you move faster as a, you know, the one person calling the shots, a producer, artist? Is that where you feel at home?
So I was not the producer of this album, and that was something I felt really clear on that I didn't want to do because I just felt like I didn't have, I mean, not so much just the production side, but more like even the mixing side. I just knew that I really wanted to work with Danny because we had collaborated before, and I was like, we are such a great combo. Like, they were able to refine my ideas and just like songwriting tips, you know, that I felt really elevated everything. Because I feel like there's like no fat on this record. Like, it's like very much like trimmed and intentional.
Filler, no filler.
Yeah. So in terms of speed, like it didn't move very fast at all, even in this way. It was just like everything took forever, but still it just felt like it was the quality kind of not quantity thing, because we were able to get the best result.
Did you write songs about your feelings?
Kind of, but a lot of the time stepping into like a certain persona or mood or like alter ego or like a fantasy about something, like a lot of times it's just really not, like people will hear It's So Over and be like, oh, this is like a breakup song, and I'm like, it's actually like not that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a song that those were the words I chose, and there's a specific like mood, and yeah, I get that there is that sense that is what it's about, literally from the title, but it wasn't based off of a breakup that I was going through. But
Do people's perception of your art matter?
it depends. So it matters if, and this is an obvious answer, but like if you're trying to do music for a living, it does matter whether people are listening to you and coming to your shows and giving you like, and it's just like, it's so messed up, but it's like kind of like in the world of capitalism or whatever, in this system, it's like if that's what you're trying to do, like of course it matters. But to me personally, yes, it also matters what people think, because I am really affected. Like I really, really, really love hearing good feedback and affirmations on what I've made. Nobody wants to hear that somebody doesn't like what they're doing. Like, I understand logically it's not for everybody. Like that, you're never going to change that, right? But it's yeah, I don't know.
My soul don't weigh much, no more than 21 grams or so. But it's the birds and the bees that brought me to my knees, made me question just what I believe in. Everybody must get stoned at some point or another, or to be reassured that at the end of the day it don't matter. Limes and lemons make a bitter cider. Who knew two hearts could feel such fire? Limes and lemons make a bitter cider to temper the minds of a frequent flyer. Pulls me aside, asks me if it's really so. Because convictions, no convictions, I don't wanna be convicted. On my word, anyway the wind blows. Everybody must get stoned at some point or another, ought to be reassured that at the end of the day it don't matter. Limes, not lemons, make a bitter cider. Who knew two hearts could feel such fire? Limes, not lemons, make a bitter cider. Temper the minds of a frequent flyer. Is this getting through? There's no need to worry, I'm in no hurry. Limes and lemons make a bitter cider. You two hearts could feel such fire. Limes and lemons make a bitter cider to temper the minds of a frequent flyer. Tore my heart away, and I never wanna see it again. I'm in the days since you tore my heart away, and I never wanna see it again. Limes and lemons make a bitter cider. Hearts could feel such fire, 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 feel such fire.
I remember hearing your line, "Love is boring," and that is something I never heard before. So I was actually really intrigued because you repeated it, and I was like, wow, I don't need to know what that means, but it got my attention, and I thought it was pretty cool. And the sheer number of lemons, I really think you could you have a place in the Guinness Book because Jesus Christ, that's a lot of citrus. But anyway,
yeah. So that line, that's an example of like where it is more specific to what was going on in my head, because to me that's about how I'm really frustrated in romantic relationships where I feel like it's not satisfying me, and it's like I end up finding reasons to leave or, you know, not allow the space for something to grow because I'm just like really intrigued and I'm captivated when something is new and like shiny and just like a new experience, right? But then once that kind of initial excitement wears off, I don't really have reasons to like stay. And that was frustrating to me because I felt like for the longest time I'm like, something's wrong with me. Like, this is not normal. Like, so it's actually something that, and I also think that love in that sense is like, that's more about infatuation. Like, yeah, infatuation gets boring because it's not real, or it's
Superficial.
it's
perhaps.
superficial,
Yeah.
one-dimensional.
Yeah.
it's real.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's
a real
real,
experience.
and you can keep chasing it, but it's a game where you have to keep upping the ante, and that's where you get into Well, I mean, not to TMI, but that's where you get into situations where drama starts entering the fold because you're trying to create something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're trying to create, and you have partners who will create like a situation where they'll introduce someone else into the fold in order to create drama, in order to be pulled away, and then and then you get back into the infatuation. I've been in those cycles, but you know, when I was like a teenager, not like, you know, as an adult.
Just barely an adult.
That's
But-
so true.
But is music, is it, because one of the things, if you're a fan of Natasha, so there's the zine that you had for a while, and that was chock full of emotion and stuff that you could sort of interpret in many different ways if you really wanted to. But there was a lot of just, it seemed like if you didn't get that out, you know, I don't know what would have happened to you. What would have happened to you, do you think?
Yeah, the zines were really important, like I don't know, it becomes like suppressed, which is like I still have to deal with. I'm working on that now, where it's like there's times where it's like inconvenient to like really reflect on what's going on inside, and you don't want to stop, and you don't want to like, you know, interfere with like the cycle or the flow of how things are going. But when the flow is taking you like down into a spiral, and you have to be like, I need to intercept like what's going on. So yeah, I think I would be like really unhappy and dissociated if I didn't get that out. And it's like sometimes I'm still at risk of that because it's like a constant, like we're constantly having this like shit that we need to get out. And I think it's just like part of being human.
Dear listener, you've made it this far. Take a break, sit down, and catch your breath. Get some rest and respite.
We'll never ever finish unless we get started. Nearly departed, we the sleep champs. That's what we do, morning, noon and night. Rest and relax, hop out those jeans, peaches and cream. We the sleep champs. That's what we do, morning, noon and night. We the sleep champs. That's what we do. We the sleep champ.
Kat, how do you get your shit out?
Actually, I overheard what you were saying earlier, and I actually do stuff like that. I write it out. I write this whole thing, and it's like whatever conversation I'd have with that person, I write it down, and then I don't know, I feel better, and I feel like I've had time to think about it rather than just react. So yeah, that's a way. But also, music just lets me escape. And then you feel better about it. Things always, and especially going to bed and sleeping on it can help.
I also find sometimes I'm a big fan of emotional eating. I have no problem with eating a big piece of pie to get myself through a tough day. Or if I'm just having a really stressful time, and I'm like, you know what, I could use a soda pop.
Yeah.
Things like that. But that only goes so far.
Can I ask a question? You said you were playing somewhere tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I know we're not live, but I did have a question. Where are you playing tomorrow?
Technically, we are live. We're just not being broadcast live.
Yes. True.
We are playing at the Crown in Baltimore.
Oh, nice. And Friday is, where is it? The
Comet Ping Pong.
Comet Ping Pong. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome.
Make sure you ask about the kill room.
Oh, God. Yeah, the advance says, do not make any Pizzagate jokes on stage.
It's
I'm
not
like,
cool, yeah.
obviously not.
Yeah, I know, right?
But I guess like touring bands, I get it because it's like, it's so like, wow, like there's this thing that happened here. People like ask all the time.
There's YouTube channels where people, because there's like a million YouTube tour channels now, like travel channels. There's people who go by Comet Ping Pong and make the Pizzagate jokes and stuff like that. Cause like, oh, let's go, like America's 5 most scary pizza restaurants, and Comet Ping Pong will be one of them.
It's my favorite, honestly.
It's really fucking good.
I always say, I'm
pizza.
like, why is there not like a pizza place like Comet in LA? Which there probably is something like it, but I'm just so like attached to this idea of this little spot,
So would you tell us the difference between LA and DC? What do you notice the differences between the two culturally?
LA is very spread out and isolated, even though DC is transient. I think it has a lot of people like moving in and out. LA is just like so individualistic in the sense of like there's not a lot of public transportation. It's like you're in your car in a bubble and you're driving 45 minutes to get somewhere, and it's just like, yeah, there's not a huge sense of like you really have to try and find community there, and I know that it exists, but I personally have also, like, the circumstances, sure, like, the pandemic and all that. Like, it's been tough for me to find that community there. Like, I don't feel like I'm really part of the music scene yet. So, I feel like all my friends are here.
Kind of like finding the subway in LA. Good luck.
Is there a subway? I've never been to LA.
Yeah, it's not worth much, though.
Do you
Go in many places.
To paraphrase Cannonball Adderley, sometimes we're not prepared for adversity. When it happens, sometimes we're caught short. We don't know exactly how to handle it when it comes up. Sometimes we just don't know what to do when adversity takes over. I have advice for all of us. Sometimes I wanna quit my job, abscond from the human race, and join a priory dedicated to good beer. I wanna be a Trappist monk on the label of a bottle. I wanna be a Trappist monk on the label of a bottle. Whoa. And there be no traffic as I ride along that bicycle with a pony keg in the sidecar. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Trappist monk on the label of a bottle. I wanna be a Trappist monk. Galaxies named after me. Whoa. Go on, Thomas Aquinas. You taught us how to love again in a cruel, cruel world. Rendering unto Caesar what is due to Caesar. Go on, my man, Polonius. You taught us how to listen. And go on, Tony Shalhoub, everyone's favorite monk. Taught us how to laugh again. Haha, hee. And that's the greatest of all. If not, right up there among the best of them. I wanna be a Trappist monk on the label of a bottle. I wanna be a Trappist monk on the label of a bottle. Whoa.
When playing out there, were people coming out to experience new music, or was it just still like the model of friends, helping out a band?
I didn't. I mean, again, I didn't see that much of like that like genuine like curiosity about like, oh, we want to go see like what cool new bands are here. Like, there's a lot of house venues, or there were before the pandemic in DC, and I think that's where we got like a lot of like community. But I haven't seen that as much in LA, although I will say like there's a really cool East LA punk scene that has like warehouse shows and is very close knit, and they also like had Taciturn play. Like, we were just like, hey, I saw a documentary about like some of the bands called Los Punks, and I was like, can we like set up a show with you? And they were just like, yeah, hop on this bill. And it was just like really cool. Like, that was a really cool experience, but I would say that's like a little bit separate from what the rest of LA feels like, which can be pretty like clicky, like for sure, like very much like, oh, like who's in the in crowd, and are you playing like XYZ venues, and it's like really hard.
Well, with this tour, because with Taciturn, you didn't have PR or a publicist or anything like that, did you? I don't remember.
No, we just kind of did it all ourselves.
But you have a publicist with this project with Tunnel.
I do, which is great, which has been awesome. But like also, I'm doing all of the booking currently. I mean, I have help from somebody in DC, but for like, I'm trying to book us in LA like in October, Tunnel, and I'm just like, god damn, like nobody's paying attention to me.
Right.
But it's the other city, like Portland, had like 3 venues be like, yeah, like we're confirmed, like we would love to have you, and I just like haven't had any enthusiasm. Like It's been like a fight, like uphill, like battle kind of.
And that's like that's kind of like your hometown though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but it's weird because I'm like, I went to high school there. I don't feel like I really grew up there. I grew up in DC, where I like, got involved in the punk scene and like did the whole thing. And then going back, it's just really weird because I feel like I'm like an adult child kind of. Like, I'm like, who am I? Like,
well, I remember one time we were chatting and you said something. You're like, I'm making an album in my childhood bedroom. Things are kind of weird, and so there's like, when you're making songs, to be put into that place of like, it's not immaturity, but it's a different mindset.
It's like regressive. And also, I mean, I've been living with my parents since moving back. So it's very much like you are in your old family dynamics, which my parents are like great people. I'm very fortunate to be there, but I'm just like, it does prevent growth because I'm like, it's a trade-off. Like, I'm saving money, but I'm not like having the rich experience I feel like I'm missing life. Out on. Yeah, like the social aspect. And I'm like thinking, I'm like, okay, like there needs to be kind of an adjustment here because I'm just like really, it's impacting like my mental health,
Yeah, I feel that. I know what you mean. my mom, she moved back in with me. I mean, she's dead now, but she moved back in with me for a couple years, and it was really nice at first, you know, like we were saying, like anything new, right? But then after a while, it started to get weird because the comfort was like, it's like, you know, she'd be like, hey, do you want it to make a grilled cheese? And you're like, well, yeah, I want you to make me a grilled cheese, but I don't want to feel like a child, you know? How do we marry these two concepts? You know, and she's like, do you want me to make dinner? And you're like, well, yeah, but I'm an adult person, you know, like I don't want to feel like a child.
Pass the peace in this digital communion. We may be heretics. Let the philosophers figure that out. We hold each other close in our hearts. Pass the peace in this digital reunion. I may be going to hell. What in the hell do I know? I think about you now and then. Code of the friend. Pass the peace in this moment of unity. We may be wrong about it all. What in the world do I know? We hold each other close in our hearts. Go with the friend. Code of the friend.
I got really upset when I was like, I got stuck somewhere going to a show, and I was like, being this cool adult now, and I was trying to take a lift home, and like my app wasn't working, and my mom was like up worrying about me, and she's like, I'm driving there right now.
Oh no.
And I like had a freak out because I was just like, the cognitive dissonance of like, I don't want my mom to pick me up,
Yeah.
but also like I need her.
Yes. Yeah.
Come get me.
You just do it at the end of the block, please.
Yeah, it was just
Right.
Right. Just like, you know, 7th grade.
very fortunate to have these problems.
So tell us about the, if Tunnel is a different personality, tell us about the personality of this project. How is this, how would you describe it in a few words, a few lines?
I would say it's earnest and moody and kind of like angsty also. And I feel like this project is really like my vocals are at the forefront. And it's like pretty like lyrically driven. And yeah, it's just been kind of like this one time where I feel like I am really here to shine, kind of. Like the focus is on, like the instrumentals are really like not overpowering, but very present, but still it's, I think, you're focusing on like the singer. That's how I feel about it. And it's kind of similar. I mean, Panini Girlfriend was also like a project where I led the band, but that was like a 3-piece punk band. So it was very different, like instrumentation. Like we didn't have like any shoegaze vibes or anything like that. So, and this one has like electronic elements too. And I think the production is kind of like experimental. So yeah.
It's like the aesthetic of Panini Girlfriend too was like a little bit, rougher around the edges.
Yeah, definitely. And I was thinking about keeping the name Panini Girlfriend for Tunnel, and I was just like, you know what, I don't think even going forward it's going to make that much sense, because it's like so, I mean, it's a great name, but I was just like, I think it would be kind of limiting for the types of songs.
Yeah.
Chop the trees down by the acre. Sacrifice to the fire. Pyrrhic victory over nature's fury. Sending the convicts armed with axes to save the Lord's bounty. Army of the damned, the labor exploited. At 15 cents an hour, just a skosh above slavery. Lock the people indoors until the klaxon call to flee. Multi-million-dollar homes, manicured lawns, lost so easily. Tempest wind fans and grows. Wildfire rages on. What terrible luck abounds. It's as if this land was founded upon Indian burial grounds. Indian burial grounds. Indian burial grounds. Indian burial grounds.
Right on.
So all this talk of music makes me want to hear a song.
Yeah, we should get it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I do have to wrap it up after this. I'm sorry.
Sure, that's cool.
Sorry about running late.
Quick-
I'm so sorry about that.
Quick question about that electronic aspect. Were then you guys incorporating like synths, keyboards, or is it like in the box, like computer, laptop, digital beats?
It was a mix. A lot of it was in the computer, but we had like different synthesizers that like Danny and Owen would play. Some stuff was like I programmed on Logic, like just using my computer, and that was like retained in the final project or whatever. But yeah, it was pretty much a blend.
Okay, cool. Well then, by all means,
Let's rock and roll.
Let's hear it. I think my band's coming in. I'm gonna let them know.
I just want to move
Hey man,
you.
we'll be done in like a few. Okay.
Projecting. This mic isn't picking up too much of that.
Yeah.
Do you still want headphones or are you good?
I think I'm okay.
You sure?
I don't know. Is it hard to set up?
No.
No, it's
They're already set up. I think we just moved the headphones somewhere.
Oh, they're on the amp.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I got that.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Awesome.
Yeah. If you want, you can tuck this into like a pocket so it doesn't
Oh, okay.
unplug. Depends on your preference.
No, that's not bad.
Okay. I'm gonna move this mic to the amp too.
Tell me.
Full moon tonight, FYI, everyone.
Nice.
Full moon. So if you're doing any spells, tonight's the night.
I think it's like the headphones are kind of flipping out, so I don't really need them.
Okay.
It's gonna be fine.
When you say flipping out, you mean like?
It's like popping and like kind of going in and out.
Oh, it's probably my mic. I'm moving it right now.
Oh.
Yeah, it might chill out now. But whatever's either either.
These are really adorable small headphones.
Yeah, we've got larger ones over ears kind of stuff.
Check. Oh, it's like clipping, I
It
think,
is
or
clipping?
something is. I don't know if it's actually clipping, but that it is through the headphones.
Just really dirty, like distorted.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Try.
Check, check.
Down. Or,
I'm
okay,
just
without
gonna-
a
I'm gonna
stroke.
just-
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take care of these.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Maybe the storm stopped. Did it? I'm gonna play Lemonhead, which is one of the singles off of my new album. Yeah, that's cool. That's great.
this